everybody. Here we go. This is starting off with a bang. Live from the third largest city in the United States of America, Chicago, Illinois. I'm Mario Smith, and this is The Drive with Mario Smith. And we're in the missing producer formation today, in that my man Jay Gliss had surgery on his knee. And I talked to him earlier. He is high as a kite. There is no stopping him now, folks. If he does call in, it's going to be entertaining, and you're going to love it, and I'm going to love it too. There is a producer involved today, but I am solo. Let me fix that. I'm not solo. I'm making you guys part of the show today, whether you want to be part of it or not. Guess what's about to happen? You're part of the show. So Tay here in Illinois, and Jordan in New York, and Cole in South Carolina, J-Lo in New York as well, Nathan, and sometimes C. Swear to God, I want to get to the bottom of that today. Is in Texas. Maya? That would be so cool. Maya's in New York, and she's checking us out on her Amazon-supported device. Bella's in Northern Virginia. Sunny is in Indiana. Chandler, Verona in New Hampshire. Deborah McIntosh is in California. Gliss isn't in Florida. He's in the bed listening to the show or watching it on his computer. I know this for a fact. He probably does not understand words or visuals at the moment. He might not. Amanda's in Vermont, and Steve is in California. And we appreciate you guys being passengers today on The Drive. I do mean me and Gliss still do appreciate it, even though Gliss isn't here. I haven't a clue what's going to happen today. We're going to get to know each other better today. I will dare take questions later. Carlo, what's up? Also in New York City proper. What's happening? Welcome to the show. I'm glad that you're here, and I hope we don't disappoint you. Let's put the poll question out early. What brought you here? I asked this yesterday, and I was not satisfied with the answers that I got, so I want to try this again. What brought you to Backchannel.tv? You can use your Amazon-supported device. Just ask the question with the word "say," and then, I want to go into the Drive's chat or however you get that done. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can leave a comment in the live section, of course. And if you are on Backchannel.tv, you can not only leave your answer, you can also leave a review of the show. You saw my pal Hal, our pal Hal earlier. Gonna do some fun stuff next week. Hey, Carlo, gonna do some fun stuff next week with my man. He was talking about potato chips, and he mentioned the dreaded pizza chip. It is gross. Hal comes through, though. His rejected segments, you should be watching everything on Backchannel. It's good stuff. And we'll go through the list of all those people later. We will still do our talk and run through news and everything, but I'm not in a hurry to do that today. I just want to talk to you. You can see all my stupid clothes on my ottoman. It's just jackets. I'm a slob. I was actually going to have someone come and clean while doing the show. I just thought that'd be problematic. And I'm not rich, but I was going to give it a shot and see how it went. But that was my rejected segment. I wasn't going to do it. So it was like 50 something degrees a couple of days ago in Chicago. It may be 20. It is going down as we speak. The temperature is 22 degrees here in Chicago, Illinois. It feels like 11. And there's snow in the forecast, all kinds of stuff that we will talk about today. Snow in the larger forecast for the United States. So you should prepare yourself for that and get ready. Is this paying? I know I'm saying it wrong, and I apologize, but welcome to the show. Please tell your friends. You know what? I think I know there is. There's a subscribe button on YouTube for Backchannel.tv. Subscribe to it. because that way, when you wake up in the morning, you can immediately go to backchannel.tv and start your day with Haley and Allison at 6 a.m. Eastern time. You got to do the time adjustments. I'm not going to do that. At 8 a.m. Eastern, it's Liv Harrison, who is awesome. Super nice lady. So nice. I cannot wait to meet everybody in person. That's going to be a lot of fun. Jam and Renee, our buddies, are on from 10 Eastern until noon. And then at noon, there's a very proper gentleman. Sir Anthony Davis is on at noon. Not the AD that can't stay on the court. He's on the court every day. Your Pal Hal starts at 2 Eastern, and that leads you to us, me and Gliss here on the drive. And we're glad, again, that you all are here. Let me give you the headlines real quick, and then we'll figure it out as we go along today. The Ukraine today declared a nationwide state of emergency after Russian President Vladimir Putin received authorization to use military force outside his country, and the West responded with sanctions. Ukrainian lawmakers approved President Zelensky's decree that imposes the measure for 30 days starting Thursday. The state of emergency allows authorities to impose restrictions on movement, block rallies, and ban political parties and organizations, quote, in the interests of national security and public order. There's little support among Americans for a major U.S. role in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, according to a new poll, even as President Joe Biden imposes new sanctions and threatens a stronger response that could provoke retaliation from Moscow. This poll was conducted by the AP and NORC, by the way. Biden has acknowledged a growing likelihood that war in Eastern Europe would affect Americans, though he has ruled out sending troops to Ukraine. Gas prices in the U.S. could rise in the short term. And Russian President Vladimir Putin has a range of tools he could use against the U.S., including cyber attacks hitting critical infrastructure and industries. And finally, in headlines, a U.S. House candidate in Oklahoma has apologized after reports that she became intoxicated at a Valentine's Day weekend sleepover for middle school-aged girls, berated several of the children, and vomited in a hamper. Democrat Abby Broyles, 32, told television station KFOR that she had an adverse reaction after drinking wine and taking sleep medication given to her by a friend. Quote, instead of helping me sleep, I hallucinated, Broyles told the station in a televised interview, and I don't remember anything until I woke up or came to, and I was throwing up in a hamper. And that's the headlines at the top of the hour. That pizza chip, the potato chip, is just so gross. Pizza. Oh, Sexy joined the stream. Well, hello, Sexy. You just wanted somebody to say hello, Sexy. That was clever. I got you. And Soraya has joined the stream as well. Welcome, everybody. In the midst of Hal's, as he was taking off to do whatever Hal does, he tried to pronounce the word Worch. It's the sauce that begins with W. I call it what's this here sauce because I can't say Worcestershire. So that's neither here nor there. But we come back, we'll look at news around the world. And thank you, producer Rob. Oops, I'm not supposed to say that you're here. I'm supposed to be doing this alone. Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Drive with Mario Smith. I am Mario Smith. Abigail has joined the stream. Hey, Abigail, she's in Texas. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you. Um, I, I had something profound to say during that break there, and it poof went away. Riley Carter, what's up, Riley? Welcome to the show. So this is the deal. Normally, I'd have these conversations with Gliss, but Gliss is he's out because he got his knee. He got a old school. He got a scope. He got his knee tightened up, as I told him in a text, so he could dunk on his kids. Because children, not gonna let them win. Got to dunk on them, and with a lot of authority. Like mean it when you do it. So he's getting it together. He'll be back on Friday. And in the meantime, there's a producer whose name I shouldn't have said out loud because I wanted to keep the mystery going. But it's producer Rob. He's here. He's not going to be on camera with me though. So everybody, calm down. It's me and you, and I mean that because of this situation. I want to extend myself to you, the audience. So you're my co-host today, all of you, and I can see how many of you it is. So all of you, and I may call your name and ask you a question, and I may just say, all of you. We'll figure it out as we go on, and this is going to be good. This is a precursor to what happens if it's really just me. I'm not worried about bombing. I'm a poet. I'm on stages a lot, and I have crashed, landed. I'm surprised some of you, like for example, Verona in New Hampshire. I'm surprised you didn't hear me when I bombed. It was horrible. I've done it many times. I'm not worried about bombing. Yes, you are co-host, Tay Tay. That's right. Matter of fact, let's test this out. see see how this is going to go. Um, there's as you know, I mean, there's never a shortage of things to talk about in our world. But I do want to give you guys a heads up, particularly if you are in one of these states that it's about to go down in. There is a snowstorm um, that's going to take an 1,800-mile path of ice and snow for 24 hours or more of rain, freezing rain, sleet, or snow from Dallas to Boston. Today, this morning, nearly 50 million people woke up under winter alerts stretching from Southern California to New England. These alerts were ahead of what will be a long duration storm for many locations, leading to 24 consecutive hours or more of wintry precipitation. 1,800-mile swath of icing is possible from central Texas into the Northeast. The threat of Mother Nature's wrath prompted delays or cancellations of more than 1,100 flights or frights at the Dallas Fort Worth International Airport as of this afternoon, according to Flight Aware. The flight tracking service reported 292 flight delays and 921 cancellations. American Airlines told the Dallas Morning News that it was getting ahead of the storm in order to avoid last-minute disruptions. A spokesman for American Airlines said this week's winter storm is expected to have a significant impact on our operation, especially in Dallas-Fort Worth. The vast majority of impacted flights have been canceled in advance so we can proactively notify and accommodate our customers and avoid last-minute disruptions at the airport. Close quote. Through Wednesday, the significant winter storm will bring a variety of winter hazards, including snow, sleet, and freezing rain from the Rockies and southern plains up through the Ohio Valley. For locations like northern Texas and Oklahoma, where some of you folks are, the wintry mix will be, I love wintry mix. It's delicious. You get a nice beverage to go with it. Wintry mix will be accompanied by thunder ice. Oh, no. I almost cursed. That sounds horrible. Thunder ice? Man, the climate. Can we get the world and the earth and this planet right, man? Thunder ice? How does that work? How does thunder ice work? What the hell is thunder? That is crazy. I don't mean to go on, but thunder ice? That sounds alarming. Will be accompanied by thunder ice with lightning, occurring with the heaviest areas of freezing rain and sleet. The area of greatest concern Wednesday will be from the Red River into the Mississippi Valley. That's where a damaging ice storm is likely to produce 0.25 inches or 0.75 inches or more of ice, which will make travel impossible and lead to trees and power lines down. On Thursday, the wintry mix will continue across the southern plains, but also spread into parts of the Tennessee and Ohio valleys. Snow will break out on the northern side of the snowstorm of the storm system across the Midwest and southern Great Lakes. Strong thunderstorms and heavy rainfall will drench the southeast. Thursday night going into Friday morning, the storm system finally reaches the East Coast, bringing the risk for a wintry mix, again delicious, for places like Philadelphia and New York, and heavy snow for New England, including Boston. All precipitation will finally exit off the Atlantic coast by Friday evening. Wow. Cities that could see icing include Dallas, Little Rock, Arkansas, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, New York, and Hartford, Connecticut. On the cold side of the storm, 3 to 6 inches of snow will stretch from the Midwest into New England, with a bullseye of 6 to 12 inches possible from upstate New York to southern New England. Cities expecting to see accumulating snow include Chicago, here we go, Cleveland, Buffalo, and Albany, New York, Burlington, Vermont, Portland, Maine, and Boston. And finally, on the warm side of the snow, 1 to 2 inches of rain, locally higher, up to 3 inches, will be possible from the southeast into the Ohio Valley. Rivers and streams are already running high, so there could be some flooding in addition to urban flooding. Whatever it is, everybody, please take it easy. Be careful out here. It is going to be a mess. And again, it's about to go down. Riley Carter said Texas too. Yep, Texas too. Riley said his car was covered in ice. Wow. Was it thunder ice? That sounds so crazy. Ricky has joined the steam. The steam? This isn't the steam room. Hey, Ricky, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Thunder ice just sounds. Thunder ice. Man, that sounds freaky, doesn't it? Thunder ice? That is crazy. I need to here we go. Thunder ice. Wow. So again, stay, keep your local weather, everything handy, and pardon me, be mindful that in the next few hours, even your situation could change dramatically. Here's a report that I found interesting. Try to put a little insight into why this is a concern of mine, and it should be a concern of everybody's. It isn't, but it should be. Did you notice the amount of wildfires we've had in the past few years? The UN thinks that those are going to become more frequent, increasing by around 50% by the end of the century. The report finds there's an elevated risk in the Arctic and other regions previously unaffected by fires. The scientists define extreme fires as extraordinary conflagrations that occur roughly once in 100 years. Researchers say that rising temperatures and changes to the way we use land will drive the increase. The new study calls for a radical reallocation of financial resources from fighting fires to prevention. The scientists from the UN Environment Program, UNEP, say that large fires that burn for weeks are already becoming hotter and burning longer in many parts of the planet where wildfires have always occurred. But they are now beginning to flare up in remote northern areas, in drying peatlands, and on thawing permafrost. This latest study says that there will be a global increase in extreme fires of up to 14% by 2030. Compared to the number recorded in 2010 through 2020. The increase could reach 30% by 2050 and 50% by the end of the century. Quote, the analysis was based on the definition of a catastrophic fire being one that would occur at once every 100 years. So it's a very low frequency fire event, said Dr. Andrew Sullivan of the Commonwealth, from the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization in Canberra, Australia. The result was that the potential for that sort of fire would increase by a factor of 1.3 to 1.5 times based on global analysis of fire frequency. Um, so I know that there's so much going on in the world. Hey, Chris, welcome to the show. My man, thank you. Um, there's a lot going on in the world, I'm aware of that. That's not lost upon me, there's a lot. Um, but there has to be a point in our lives, as soon as humanly possible, for the forbearance of human existence, that we really start thinking about our place and position, as small as it is, in this multiverse, right? The idea that we are playing games with our climate, and wildfires are the beginning. We're talking about thunder, ice, wildfires, extreme weather, potentially damaging the food supply, and then you can throw racism. put racism in there too. All these things are damaging our climate. Seriously, I'm only half joking about racism. Um, there has to be a concerted effort amongst everybody to start really taking this seriously. As seriously as you do raising your children, as seriously as you do your health, if you take your health seriously, as seriously as you do and trying to be an honest and good person, how you live your life, this has to become part of it, because the planet is talking. It's saying, yo, you are messing me up. There's a story, I might get to it today. If not, I'll definitely get to it on what day is this? Wednesday, on Friday, about the Postal Service insisting on buying a new fleet of cars that are gas operated cars. Why? You're the Postal Service. Are you fighting crime? I know you have a postal police. I see them all the time, but make those cars electric. If anybody should be trumpeting that and leading the charge, it should be the United States Postal Service, right? Make your cars electric. What? Gas is about to be $100 a barrel. That means your gas is going up, whether the Ukraine thing happens, which is happening, or not. Gas, oil, destroying the planet, it's killing us. There's no reason for it to. The U.S. Postal Service should be going all electric. All municipal, the police, everybody electric. That's a start. It's a small thing, but it's a thing. Hey, Carol and Patty, it's your first time here. Welcome. Chris is in Florida, by the way. Welcome, Chris, again. You know, so let's try it because you guys are the co-hosts. Here's a poll question: What? I hate to do these on the fly, but I'm gonna do it anyway. What? No, not what. Will you consider buying an electric car? Girl boss, who are you? Please tell me so I know. Meal Team 6. I know who this is. Would you consider buying an electric car on your Amazon supported device? Join the poll there. You can also, if you're on YouTube, yes or no. It's yes or no answers on YouTube in the section that you're in. What's up? I knew it was you. What's happening, Mo? On the in the YouTube section. In the YouTube section, and on YouTube, you can just put in yes or no on the poll, on the question that's on the table. Would you purchase an electric vehicle? And if you're watching us on backchannel.tv, you can definitely answer there. And also, you can leave a review of the show and get involved today. I need the help, yo. Don't leave me out here like that. What's wrong with you? I wouldn't do that to you. So we gotta up our game. This is your planet. You live here. Here's another one. I mean, I could literally do a show based around the climate and environmental concerns. I could do 2 hours every day about things that are happening on the planet and off of it. There's a whole. Okay, let me just read this. For nearly 80 years, recruits reporting to Central California's Fort Ord considered themselves the lucky ones, privileged to live and work amid sparkling seas, sandy dunes, and sage-covered hills. But there was an underside, the dirty work of soldiering, Recruits tossed live grenades into the canyons of Mortar Alley, sprayed soapy chemicals on burned pits of scrap metal and solvents, poured toxic substances down drains, and into leaky tanks they buried underground. When it rained, poisons percolated into aquifers from which they drew drinking water. Through the years, soldiers and civilians who lived at the U.S. Army base didn't question whether their tap water was safe to drink. But in 1990, 4 years before it began the process of closing as an active military training base, Fort Ord was added to the EPA's list of the most polluted places in the nation. Including in that pollution were dozens of chemicals, some now known to cause cancer, found in the base's drinking water and soil. Decades later, several Fort Ord veterans who were diagnosed with cancers, especially rare blood disorders, took the question to Facebook. Are there more of us? Soon the group grew to hundreds of people who had lived or served at Fort Ord and were concerned that their health problems might be tied to the chemicals there. The Associated Press interviewed nearly 24 of these veterans for the story and identified many more. The AP also reviewed thousands of pages of documents and interviewed military, medical, and environmental scientists. There is rarely a way to directly connect toxic exposure to a specific individual's medical condition. Indeed, the concentrations of the toxics are tiny, measured in parts per billion or trillion, far below the levels of an immediate poisoning. Local utilities, the Defense Department, and some in the Department of Veteran Affairs insist Fort Ord's water is safe and always has been. So it's not just the earth talking, it's people doing dumb stuff and not wanting to take their responsibility for it. This constant back and forth about how we are treating our planet is crazy. This should not be an issue. Didn't they just have a big summit where basically they just kind of rubbed each other's back and said it's going to be okay, but didn't come up with any real plan? Remember, Donald Trump was like, I'm getting out of the Paris Accords because the environment, I'm going to be dead. This is basically what he said. He didn't care. And there you go, girl boss. Electric vehicles are the wave of the future. Fact. I cannot figure out, just in case you're just joining us, welcome. The idea that the United States Postal Service is going to go back to gas with this new fleet. It's like $1.15 billion worth of vehicles they're about to buy, and they're not going to go electric. That's crazy. And they still won't deliver the mail on time. Boom. Got it. Zing, bazinga, any words you want to use. Done and done. It's crazy, 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 crazy. All right. Yeah, Hey, Bridget. Patty's in Ohio. What up, Patty in Ohio? Hi, Bridget. The ladies come here. And Gliss isn't here today, so I can't say it's for him. Well, hello. We get it together. Straighten up. Yeah. It's the glasses. Y'all don't care about me. I know it's the glasses. The poll question, would you consider buying an electric vehicle? Yes or no? Would you consider buying an electric vehicle? My answer, I would absolutely do it in a heartbeat. Not worried about it. I appreciate gas cars, or gas-fueled cars. I do. I think they're dope. But some of these electric jobs are looking good now. They're figuring it out. So the question, it's right there. Right there. I got to get my television hand. It's not over here. It's over there. But that would block my face. There you go. Right there. Would you buy an e-vehicle? An even bigger question, shouldn't the post office consider doing that? I mean, that is the test of all tests. You could really do something for the environment. But they're like, no. On top of not delivering your mail on time, we don't care about you and your nothing. The environment, all these people, ooh, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to lose my gig. I just got it. That you want to find out what I was going to say, you can hit me on Twitter at Mario and Hyde Park, because that's where I can speak freely. Because, yeah. If you want to read more about that story, it's at apnews.com, the Associated Press. It's heartbreaking. And there are pictures of Fort Ord. I got friends that live on military or used to live on military bases, and that's got me wondering about their health and safety. Here in Chicago, there's a housing project called All Elk Gardens that is in effect next to the garbage dump for the city. I worry about people who I know that lived and still live there. Man, y'all okay? I wish I had an answer. I don't. I do have an answer about that electric vehicle, though. Absolutely, I do. Are we getting closer to herd immunity against COVID? Oh, by the way, if you bought you know what? Wait a minute. Hold on. Because I think that is probably a little bit more important than that. Here it is. This is weird, man. Did you buy or get one of those home tests? And it's weird only because no one should do what they're suggesting would make this would trigger the response of a warning. But the COVID-19 rapid antigen tests, there is indeed a warning about them. And essentially it's saying and that's the test that I have. Holy cow. I'll read this to you. At homes across the country, or as homes across the country, rather, have received the free at-home COVID-19 antigen tests, a new warning is being issued about a potential hazard. According to Poison Control, the extraction vial in many of the kits includes a chemical that acts as a preservative agent and could be harmful if ingested. Sodium azide is a colorless, tasteless, and odorless powder that has been used as a propellant in airbags and pest control agents. Lord have mercy. Just to name a few. Poison control officials say when swallowed, the chemical can cause low blood pressure, cause dizziness, headache, and heart palpitations. In more severe cases, people can experience seizures, loss of consciousness, and death may occur. Poison control officials say the amount of sodium azide in most rapid antigen kits is much lower than the amount expected to cause poisoning if swallowed by an adult. You're not supposed to swallow or otherwise ingest the chemical to take the test. That's the first thing I said was, who's swallowing the chemical? You're supposed to swab your nose and then insert the swab into the vial containing the chemical. That's easy. What poison control should be saying is, hey, if you're a nut, don't do this test. Amazing. That is, wow. We are really doing it, aren't we? We're doing it. This is happening. This is all happening. Man, this is happening. Let's see here. Where are we? Voices of Culture Internet Radio. Oh, I know those people. They say the CTA wants to switch, the Chicago Transit Authority wants to switch to all electric by 2035. They should. All municipal everything should be electric. Buses, we got the Metro Electric here in Chicago. Go electric. It's electric. Boogie, oogie, oogie. You don't know nothing about that, yeah, boy. Yes, the Voices of Culture Internet Radio is, I appreciate that. That's big. That's a big get. Producer who I can't say their name or anything else. That's a big get having Voices of Culture on here. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, man. That means I'm not joking. That means a lot to me. Thank you very much. It's almost break time. Not yet, though. Not yet. I think then we can agree that the electric situation is going to be really good for the economy and for the country. And again, on these tests, you got to be some kind of celebrity stupid to drink the stuff in the vial for a COVID. I will say what old man once said to me: "How high are you trying to get, really?" And it was not a pleasant time when he said it to me. But he asked, "How high are you? How high are you trying to get, really?" Man, you drinking the vial from after you stick it in your nose? First of all, that's kind of nasty. And second of all, what the hell is wrong with you? Get it together. So that story leads into the question of herd immunity. Has the Omicron variant, is it leading us closer to herd immunity against COVID-19? Experts say it's not likely. Oh, damn. Thank you. That's the news. Good night, everybody. Experts say it's not likely that the highly transmissible variant or any other variant will lead to herd immunity. Herd immunity is an elusive concept and doesn't apply to coronavirus, says Dr. Dunn Milton at the University of Maryland School of Public Health. Herd immunity is when enough of a population is immune to a virus that it's hard for the germ to spread to those who aren't protected by vaccination or a prior infection. For example, herd immunity against measles requires about 95% of a community to be immune. Early hopes of herd immunity against the coronavirus failed. This is all news. Faded, rather, for several reasons. I'm also keeping an eye on what's happening in the Premier League. Forgive me. One is that antibodies developed from available vaccines or previous infection dwindle with time. While vaccines offer strong protection against severe illness, waning antibodies mean it's still possible to get infected, even for those who are boosted. Then there's the huge variation in vaccinations. In some low-income countries, less than 5% of the population is vaccinated. Rich countries are struggling with vaccine hesitancy, and young children still aren't eligible in many places. As long as the virus spreads, it mutates, helping the virus survive and giving rise to new variants. Those mutants, remember that phrase, those mutants, remember all those Marvel movies? They're mutants. We must destroy them. Such as Omicron can become better at evading the protection people have from vaccines or an earlier infection. Get vaccinated, yo, because this is not going to end. There's a new vaccine that will be available sooner than later. That were you say word, people were eating Tide Pods not too long ago. VOC, yes, they were. The Tide Pod challenge. Let's do it. Hey, gang. That's so dumb. But yeah, there's there's going to be a shot that's going to be available that it's 2 doses, and that'll be the new booster. It's going to essentially be the flu shot. And in order for you, because there's not going to be herd immunity, I forget the term they used, and it's not in that story I just read about what it's actually called. Um, it's going to be you deal with it. Is essentially what it is. So deal with it. Suck it up. Hey, it's Julian's first time on the show. I suck. I'm an anti-Omicronist. I hate the show. I welcome you back every day, Julian, because you're the same guy from a couple of days ago. Let me look at you in your face so you can see me. Hey, Julian, welcome back. I appreciate you watching. I know you're going to be here every time. It goes without saying. Before I completely, and you're in California, the same place that Buddy's from, before I totally get rid of you and ban you for life, I just want you to know I appreciate you. And Backchannel.tv is really glad that you watch. And the fact that you are so quick with it to tell me that you said all those wonderful things that I wish Rob wouldn't have crossed out, I read them anyway. Because, it's got to be really good being you. I imagine every day is sunshine and lollipops, right? Good thing. Since I'm going to make you the focal point of my life for the next 2 or 3 seconds, I just want you to know again that you are watching The Drive with Mario Smith. That's my name. Get a good look. You can go on your Amazon supported device and tell your robot to never play the show again. You can also follow me on Twitter, where I'll block you at Mario in Hyde Park. What else? Boy. You probably like the Green Bay Packers, so I don't like you. And I think that's about it. All right, thanks, Julian. You're my favorite person on the show today is you, because this is all for you. When we come back, we will have our community report and finish talking about Julian because he's such a good dude. And I want people to know just how good of a guy he is. Right, Julian? Solid. I'll talk to you in a second. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back, everybody. By the way, you can catch Julian on Backchannel. Oh, that's right. You can't catch Julian on anything because Julian doesn't have a show. Sorry, Julian. Welcome, Jordan. Thank you. Hey, Sarah. Thank you. Alan is in Australia. Much appreciated, Alan. Scott on the electric vehicle question. Scott, oops, did it. Sorry, bro. Tay says, I won't buy an electric car. I won't buy any car. More people need to start using public transportation, and public transportation needs to be electric. Heard. I get it. And then producer, yes, we can do that. Or we can stay. We ain't gotta go nowhere. Man, look, the best thing that can happen is somebody say they don't like me. That's great news. That means I'm doing something proper. The voices of the culture said stricter pill regimens, yes or no, on the next segment of the drive. That's gonna be a no. I suffer from migraines, and I rarely take pills. I've never been able to do it. When I was a little boy, why do I talk so much? When I was a little boy, my sister who raised me had to crunch up aspirin. Like we used to take St. Joseph's Children's aspirin. If you're old enough to remember that, you remember. And she would put it in apples. I miss my sister so much. She would put it in applesauce. And that would be the only way I would take it. And even then I'd be like, this is garbage. So I am not. I had to take blood pressure medicine for high blood pressure. I had to change my diet because I couldn't take the pills. They were making me sick. And I'm like, yo, doc, these pills are doing a number on me to make me sick. And I remember her name, but I won't say it. And she got mad and yelled at me in her doctor's office. And I had to remind her that her payment came from me and that I would be holding on to that. She hasn't been my doctor in years. Yeah, man, I don't do pills. No. Yeah, Sarah. Who else? Don't make me do segment for segment here. Hey, Amy, welcome. How you doing? I had to do the whole thing with the applesauce and I have aspirin in my house that I know has expired. I need to throw it away because I won't take it. So what one of my poet friends said to me, this is what you do. You get a green apple. And you take the green apple and you eat it. The antioxidants in the green apple will help keep your migraines reasonably low. It absolutely works. I have not seen her or in a long time, and I need to reach out. Yeah, so I'm not a pill guy, man. I'm not. So yeah, we won't be doing that segment. But and they also said appreciate you as well. Thank you. It means something to me when my people reach back and say what's up, and I'm doing it for you guys and for Julian. Um, let's see here. Going a little slow today. Sorry about that, everybody. There is an opal in this is from Alaska, in Juneau, Alaska, is it? I do believe. And an opal, one of the largest gem quality opals in existence, was sold for $143,750 at an auction on Sunday in Alaska. The opal, dubbed America's Australis, weighs more than 11,800 carats. Lord, according to the auction house, Alaska Premier Auctions and Appraisals, it also has a long history. Most recently, it was kept in a linen closet in a home in Big Lake, north of Anchorage, by Fred Von Brandt, who mines for gold in Alaska and whose family has deep roots in the gem and rock business. The opal is larger than a brick and is broken into two pieces, which Von Brandt said was a practice used decades ago to prove gem quality. Von Brandt said the stone has been in his family since the late 1950s, when his grandfather brought it from an Australian opal dealer named John Altman. I got to get glasses because I swear I thought that said John Aquaman. It's going to be a long show. Von Brandt said the opal for decades was in the care of his father, Guy Van Brandt, who decided it had been locked up long enough and that it's time to put it back out in the world and see what interest it can generate. And what isn't listed here, and money, because he entrusted me to figure out which direction we wanted to go to part with the stone. Von Brandt said the family with roots in California exhibited the stone at gem shows for years until the early 1980s, he said. His father then branched out into furniture and displayed it at his shop. Guy Von Brandt eventually moved to Oregon and kept the stone kind of tucked away for many years, Von Brandt said. Gliss, man, we got to get you back to health. You got to find Guy Von Brandt. He might have left some stones at his in his basement in Oregon. Get Dylan T. Pickles on it. Von Brandt said he brought it with him to Alaska over a year ago as he weighed the best approach to a possible sale. He said he went with Alaska Premier Auctions and Appraisals because he thought it would get more attention from the newer company than a larger auction house. The sale is set for Sunday. How's it set for Sunday? It already sold. Yeah, the AP is on it too. Take it easy, AP. Get with it. Get with it. I see you, Mike. I see you. Jimmy is on the stream. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? Jimmy's in New York. Welcome to the show, my man. I appreciate you. Very much so. Very, very much so. And where are we? I'm sorry. A little behind is where we are. Screw it. I don't care. I'm doing this just because I do it. I have a podcast called Who You Got. It's available on Podbean. It'll be available tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. It's a music thing. My man Michael Lockett, who is joining us on YouTube, is the co-host and founder and creator of this amazing show. It's sometimes it's 8 minutes long, sometimes it's 30. It's on Podbean. You can catch it 10 a.m. Central Time. So that's 11 East, 8 West, 7 Pacific. No, yeah, I don't know. Just 10 a.m. Central Time. I just knocked everybody off here. That's not good. Give me a moment. I'm sorry, folks. I didn't mean to do that. And here we are. It's never not an adventure with your boy Mario Smith. That is the honest to God truth. Just checking to make sure I still have a gig, because you know these things are fleeting. We get this back up. There we go. All right. I had taken all of the folks on the back channel chat into a dark, dismal place. There we go. Okay. I got you all back now. Good. All right. Here we are. Thank you very much, Quick Thinking Smith. And back to it we go. Pardon the interruption, America. Had to get it straight. The National Guard is going to be deployed in Washington, D.C. ahead of truck convoy protests that are scheduled to happen around President Biden's State of the Union address. The Capitol riot has left officials wary of miscalculating security risks. The National Guard members will help with traffic control, the Pentagon said. Local and federal agencies are warning of a potential truck convoy aimed at disrupting the event, the State of the Union. The demonstration is inspired by Canadian convoys that block U.S. border crossings to protest mask and vaccine mandates. Y'all, it's been 3 years, man. You're still protesting? You holding on that tight, son? Word? What is that going to do? How do you propose disrupting the State of the Union unless you find a way to get in the building? And the National Guard is not going to have weapons on them. They're just directing traffic. All of that is a setup, man. It's a trap. This doesn't sound like it's going to end well. That's really crazy. That's a trap. We are still doing this. It is that's just, to me, that is mind-blowing. At this point, all the mask mandates are being lifted anyway. I know they're lifted the ones in Chicago, not like people in Chicago have exactly been abiding by them, but they're lifting all the mask mandates. That's over with. We run our course on it. What are we going to do? So now you're going to go to D.C. because you're mad still, and your anger is, yeah, I'll show you all. I'm just going to ride my truck and disrupt the State of the Union. No, man, stay at home. That's time off. What are you doing? Don't be stupid. Stay at the crib. Enjoy your life. Oh, God, I did do it, didn't I? No, I didn't. Yeah, enjoy your life. Come on. Stay home. There's breaking news in the sports world, by the way. Kemba Walker agreed that he'll be sidelined for the rest of the season. New York Knicks guard Kemba Walker. That's a mess. We'll talk about it in sports, but that's a mess, man. That is. Whew. They want to fire Tom Thibodeau, which they probably should have never hired Tom Thibodeau. But that is an unbelievable mess. Okay, roll call. Tay in Illinois, Cole in South Carolina, J-Lo, Nathan, Alan in Australia. How's it going in Australia today, Alan? It's good that you're here, man. I thank you. Bella, this character, Julian, Sonny, Chandler, Verona, Deborah, Gliss. Gliss isn't in Florida. He's here. Amanda is not here. He's in Portland. And Steve and Jimmy and Jordan and Amy and Sarah and Alan and everybody. Thanks. Appreciate you guys for going on this fantastic voyage with your boy. There's nothing but fun every day. So we talked about that. That'll be in our entertainment portion of the program. And here's another thing of note. The jury began deliberating today in the federal trial of 3 police officers in the George Floyd killing in Minnesota. 3 former Minneapolis police officers charged with violating George Floyd's civil rights, quote, chose to do nothing, close quote, as a fellow officer squeezed the life out of Floyd, a prosecutor said in her closing argument yesterday, Tuesday. Defense attorneys counted that the officers were too inexperienced, weren't trained properly, or didn't have the intent the charges require. Alex King, Thomas Lane, and Tu Thao are charged with depriving Floyd of his right to medical care when Officer Derek Chauvin pressed his knee into Floyd's neck for 9.5 minutes as the 46-year-old black man pleaded for air before going silent. King and Thao are also charged with failing to intervene to stop Chauvin during the May 25th, 2020 killing that triggered protests worldwide and a reexamination of racism and policing. And that's right up there with the Kim Potter lady who somehow managed to forget how the taser doesn't feel like a service weapon, and she was the trainer. Look, all 3 of those officers had an opportunity to be men and be heroes, and they balked. They took the chance to do it, and they failed. Their failure is the reason why George Floyd is dead, and they should serve the maximum of anything. They were there. They could have stopped that. They looked at it. They kneeled down with him and watched it. So if you're wondering how I feel about it, now you know. That is utterly sinful and ridiculous. Lights. I wonder if Lights was yelling at his or her Amazon supported device to turn on the lights, and somehow they ended up here. Welcome. And T has joined us. Hey T, how you doing? I'm glad that all of you are here and that you all are enjoying the show. Yes, it's a trap. You know what movie that's from? You've shown your age, like my man Michael Lockett here. It's a trap. That's my favorite part of that movie because it's a metaphor for life. You can follow me on Twitter at Mario in Hyde Park. All those tweets are mine. I say some things. I got into a whole big Twitter argument yesterday about the handshake line. So this man, and people trying to explain to me how athletics worked. I thought that was interesting. My good buddy who used to play for the Flying Illini and the Detroit Pistons and other places, Steve Bardo, had to come and help me. I'm like, Steve, help. Could you help a brother, please? So that turned into a whole thing yesterday. I had to change the name from Twitter to Trigger. I had to get off of Trigger. So I didn't want to be in an argument all day. Then I stepped out last night in the great Chicago weather. It was warm, and then it got cold while I was outside. That's always fun. All kinds of things are happening in your boy's life. There is no show tomorrow, by the way, programming note. No show tomorrow. We'll be back on Friday. Gliss will be back. It's tomorrow is terrestrial radio for me, I think, at Lumpen Radio, lumpenradio.com, LUMPEN. I am on 2 p.m. Central until 4 p.m. For folks that may be watching and not clicking in or what have you, the show is called News from the Service Entrance. It's on every Thursday afternoon, and it's a pretty cool show. I get to play music and all that stuff, and it's this show, but a little different. We come back, we'll have the news at the top of the hour, and we'll talk more stuff and bring you in because you're the co-host today, all of you. Thank you to Voices of Culture Internet Radio, my man Michael Lockett, and Girl Boss for also being part of the drive today. It's the Drive with Mario Smith. We'll be back after these words. Welcome back to the Drive with Mario Smith. It's hour 2. We're live from Chicago, Illinois. Truly appreciate your patronage today. I'm Mario Smith. Thank you for being here. You're watching us on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and listening to us on your Amazon supported devices. And judging from the list of folks, we have a full house today. Bob, we should one day do the Bob drinking game. If Bob comes back on consecutive days, I promise we will put the Bob drinking game in. Nebula has joined the stream, along with Lights and T, Chuck, Jimmy, Jordan, Amy, Sarah, Alan, Beach. Oh, man. Cole, J-Lo, Nathan, and sometimes C, Bella, Julian, Sonny, Chandler, Verona, Deborah, Amanda, Steve, and I think Gliss is checking us out maybe on Backchannel.tv. For folks wondering, Gliss, who's the producer of the show, had knee surgery this morning. He's fine. He is convalescing in his lovely Portland home. I heard his wife's voice laughing in the background while we were talking this morning, so everybody's in good spirits. He's got 4 boys. They have all been warned, don't jump on dad. And he is gearing up for his big comeback where he will dunk on his children continuously because children need to learn you can't always win. And he'll be back with us on Friday. So we're sending positive vibes out to you, brother. And I hope you get well soon because I want to hear more about this dunking on your children because I think that's going to be great. And in the studio, there is a producer here who will go unnamed, but he is a class act. And you know what? Screw it. It's Rob. I'm not going to act like he's not great. He's great. And he's running the dials today to make sure that I don't mess this all up, which I probably already have in the first hour. But, you know, I'm here. And as the little sign there says, you can follow me on Twitter at Mario in Hyde Park, all lowercase. There's always fun and excitement there. As you can tell by my face that I'm fun and excited. Get involved in the show. You can tell your Amazon device, Alexa, say, and then your comment, and you can join the chat on YouTube. And also, if you're on Backchannel, you can join the chat, and you can leave a review of the show. And that's how it works. Here are the headlines. The Kremlin said rebel leaders in eastern Ukraine asked Russia for military assistance today to help fend off Ukrainian aggression, while Ukraine declared a nationwide state of emergency amid growing fears of an all-out invasion by Russian forces. It appears that the jury in the case of those 3 cops that we mentioned in our last hour in the George Floyd killing all appear to be white. They began deliberating today at the federal trial of 3 fired Minneapolis police officers charged with violating George Floyd's civil rights when he was pinned to the ground for 9.5 minutes as fellow officer Derek Chauvin pressed his knee into his neck. J. Alexander King, Thomas Lane, and Tu Thao are charged with depriving Floyd of his right to medical care. King and Thao are also charged with failing to intervene to stop Chauvin during the May 25th, 2020 killing that was captured on bystander video that triggered protests worldwide and a re-examination of racism and policing. And finally, in our headlines, if that's not enough for you, this one is hard to figure out. Prosecutors in charge of the Trump criminal probe have resigned. The 2 prosecutors in charge of the Manhattan District Attorney's criminal investigation into former President Donald Trump and his business dealings suddenly resigned Wednesday, throwing the future of the probe into question. A spokesperson for District Attorney Alvin Bragg confirmed the resignations of Kari Dunn and former Mafia prosecutor Mark Pomerantz. Both started on the probe under former District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. and were asked to stay when Bragg took office in January. Dunn, the office's former general counsel, argued before the U.S. Supreme Court in a successful fight for Trump's tax records. Pomerantz was brought out of private practice by Vance last year to add his expertise in white-collar investigations to the probe. We are grateful for their service, said Bragg's spokesperson, Danielle Filson. She declined to comment further, saying the investigation is ongoing. I just heard music. You playing me off, Rob? Is that it? Thank you. I want to thank everybody for this award. There's nothing like it in the world to win. I am so glad that I won. Please don't play me off with the music. I'm so one day when I get that Radio Hall of Fame award, they're gonna have to play me off. Are you kidding me? I've been doing this 20-some years? Yeah, you're gonna play me off, Jack. It's okay. It's okay. That's funny. I thought that was the play me off music. That was actually kind of cool. It just starts getting louder and louder while I'm talking. Yeah, and so you know, blah, 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 help. It's like you're in a box trying to get out of it. Wow. Thank you all again for being here on the drive today. I cannot thank you enough. It means the world to me that you all are here. And again, Gliss will be back next week. When we come back, we will have some entertainment news. Ooh, I got some good stuff for you today. And we'll get ready for sports too. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. Thanks for watching. We will be right back. Welcome back to The Drive with Mario Smith. I am him. We are in Chicago, Illinois. We appreciate you for being wherever you're at today. And it's time for Have No Fear, the Cameras Here, our entertainment report. Mark Lanigan, the singer whose raspy baritone and darkly poetic songwriting made Screaming Trees an essential part of the early Seattle grunge scene and brought him an acclaimed solo career, died yesterday at the age of 57. On his Twitter account, a post said, quote, "Our beloved friend Mark Lanigan passed away this morning at his home in Killarney, Ireland," which called him, the post also referred to him as a beloved singer, songwriter, author, and musician. Management company SKH confirmed the death for the New York Times. No cause was given. In a memoir last year, Lanigan said a severe case of COVID-19 left him hospitalized in a coma. He never saw major commercial success, but through 7 full-length albums with Screaming Trees, 10 solo records, and collaborations with Queens of the Stone Age and many others, he won a devoted fan base that included critics and his fellow musicians of several generations. Mark Lanigan will always be etched in my heart, as he surely touched so many with his genuine self, no matter the cost, true to the end, John Cale of the Velvet Underground said on Twitter. Iggy Pop tweeted, "Mark Lanigan, rest in peace. Deepest respect for you, your fan, Iggy Pop." Lanigan formed the Screaming Trees in 1984 in his hometown of Ellensburg, Washington. A drummer at first, he said he was so inept he had to become a lead singer. With their mix of moody pop and a hard rock that leaned into psychedelia, Screaming Trees were among the candidates that many thought would break big from the Seattle grunge scene of the late 1980s and early 90s, though they would never see the widespread popularity of Nirvana and Soundgarden. Their major label debut for Epic Records, 1990's Uncle Anesthesia, great album, was co-produced by Soundgarden's Chris Cornell. The single Bed of Roses would get them played on MTV and modern rock radio. And the Trees' commercial peak came with 1992's Sweet Oblivion and the single Nearly Lost You, which remains Lanigan's biggest hit and best known song, thanks in part to its appearance on the soundtrack of the Cameron Crowe film Singles. The group would technically remain a unit until 2000, but Lanigan increasingly focused on his solo career during the 90s, creating music that was quieter, more bluesy, and more brooding, earning him the nickname Dark Mark. Mark Lanigan, dead at the age of 57. Wow. And then there's another one we're going to talk about a little bit later, an athlete who played for the Seattle Mariners and the Chicago White Sox who passed away today, or yesterday as well. It's going down in the movie theaters. Brace yourself. Are you ready? Hollywood always spends the first part of the year regrouping. The Oscar contenders that came out at Christmas need time to play themselves out, and it's still too early for big summer blockbusters, but warmer weather brings out crowds. At least it did pre-pandemic, and it looks like there are some themes in what studios are serving up this year: multiverses, an abundance of Batman, action star celebrities, and true stories on the big screen. Here are some of the major titles that are coming out. Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. Yo, that trailer for Doctor Strange has me mad interested. I'm intrigued. And by the way, did you know that No Way Home, the Spider-Man movie, made 1.8, or still making money, but $1.8 billion? So the new installment of Marvel's multifaceted multiverse, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, comes out on May the 6th. Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, the variation of the Harry Potterverse, finds Moggy zoologist Newt Scamander. I don't watch Harry Potter, yo. Sorry. And an intrepid band of wizards, witches, and a muggle countering dark wizard Gellert Grindelwald. It comes out on April 15th. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Ooh, Michelle Yeoh, buddy. A non-franchise film. Don't worry, that's going to change. From the Daniels, directors Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, this fantastical dramedy follows Michelle Yeoh. It's Evelyn, an aging Chinese-American woman who's enlisted to save this universe and quite a few others. It begins to hit your theaters on March 25th. One of the ones I'm really looking for, Batman. Oh my goodness gracious! Have you seen the trailer for it? This was gonna be nasty. I don't think little kids need to go see it. I think it's gonna be hardcore. The latest of many Cape Crusaders in the DC extended universe get a the to separate him from the others, and maybe also from Marvel's new bad guy Doctor Morbius that we're going to talk about in a second. Robert Pattinson was a vampire teen in the Twilight movies, so being the Batman isn't a huge stretch. He'll be battling the Riddler, played by Paul Dano. That comes out March 4th, next week. Morbius, in trying to cure himself of a rare blood disease, Marvel's troubled Dr. Michael Morbius uses bat something or other and goes a little batty. There are pluses though: increased speed and strength, the ability to use bat location, also one minus, an overpowering urge to drink blood. But hey, there's always something, and it comes out, Morbius, on April 1st. The Lost City. Channing Tatum plays a beefy model for adventure book covers, eager to impress the author of those adventures, Sandra Bullock. So when she's abducted by a billionaire, played by Daniel Radcliffe, Tatum figures he should save her. I'm certified CPR, certified CrossFit. I have snacks. Oh, Lord. Brad Pitt stops by to offer some competition. It comes out March 25th. And here's another one. Operation Fortune, Ruse du Guerre. In this one, billionaire Hugh Grant, who is aging gracefully, is being conned by agents Jason Statham and Aubrey Plaza, who decide to use the rich guy's favorite movie star Josh Hartnett as their extremely unwilling bait. It comes out March 18th. What is this? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Think of this one as a meta version of the billionaire and actor story. Nicolas Cage plays a movie star who agrees to amuse a rich guy at his birthday party for $1 million fee. The star Nick Cage is playing Nick Cage. I've seen the trailer. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, man. April 22nd. Very excited about that too. There's a whole bunch of really cool movies coming out. I guess it's safe to go to the movies. Get out and see some. Audrey, Lori, Matthew. What's up? Matthew's first time on the show. Matthew's in Massachusetts. Hey, Matthew, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Meal Team 6 is out. Say word, Voices of the Culture. Holla at you. Let's see. I'm just checking my notes. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that's funny. This one is a bit disturbing, man. And this is a story by Jam Master Jay, who was the incredible DJ for Run DMC back in the day, who was murdered a few years ago. Walk with me. A man charged in the slaying of Jam Master Jay once filmed a brazen rap video in front of a street mural commemorating the beloved Run DMC member. Prosecutors say in court papers opposing the defendant's release on bail. The amateur video was one of several instances when Carl Jordan Jr. proved himself a danger to the community by openly bragging about dealing drugs and possessing guns following Jay's 2002 death. The documents say it features Jordan rapping a song titled Silver Spoon in front of the mural in Queens. I won't bother to read you the lyrics because they're terrible. The papers were filed on Tuesday in federal court in Brooklyn. Messages were left with Jordan's lawyers on Wednesday seeking comment. Jason J. Mizell, known professionally as Jam Master Jay, formed Run DMC with Joseph Run Simmons and Daryl DMC McDaniel in the early 80s. Together, they helped take hip-hop mainstream with hits like It's Tricky and the Aerosmith remake collaboration Walk This Way. In 2020, authorities announced that they had solved the killing of Jay, one of New York City's most enduring mysteries, alleging that Jordan and another man, Ronald Washington, had ambushed him over a cocaine deal gone bad. They said Washington waved a handgun and ordered another person at a recording studio to lie on the ground while Jordan shot Jay in the head October 30th, 2002. Defense lawyers have argued for Jordan's release on $1 million bond by claiming there are credible witnesses who will testify that he was at their home at the same time as the alleged murder. They also claimed Jordan is at a high risk for contracting COVID-19 because of health issues. Prosecutors countered that the would-be alibi witnesses aren't credible. They also described Jordan as a healthy 39-year-old man who remains unvaccinated despite widespread availability of the vaccine at a federal jail. If convicted, Jordan faces a minimum of 25 years behind bars. I remember that day when Jay got killed, that the story was really about who would do that to him. Why him? And the cocaine thing is disputed by people too. But apparently, if they're implying that it's true, maybe it is true. Yeah, the whole idea of Jam Master Jay being there, that's one. It touches a nerve that it's hard for me to explain it. I remember I told you Gliss was on pills and he's like trying to get it together. He just called me. I'm going to try to text him and see. Oh man. Let's see here. Okay, this is what my text says. I'm on the air, Gliss. I'm on the air, Gliss, comma, are you high? That's what I'm doing. And push. And then we put the smiley face next to it. There we go. And boom. All right. Let's see if he answers that text. Oh, man, that's too funny. Gosh. Hello back, Beach. What's happening? It's your first time on the show. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Yeah, Gliss definitely called me, Rob. I don't know why, but I can't answer him. Ooh, that's funny. That's our entertainment report. Before we go into our one of my favorite segments when we play ball and talk sports with you, just want to remind you that you are watching Backchannel.tv and you are watching The Drive with Mario Smith. We are Monday through Wednesday and Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. We appreciate everybody being passengers on The Drive. Tell your friends to join us. They can be a part of the show simply by coming on and being a part of the show. Today, you guys are all the co-hosts, so, we're doing that. Matthew's in Massachusetts. Lights is here. Beach, Bob, Nebula. We got all the names. All the stars are out today. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in a moment. When we come back, we'll play ball. This is The Drive on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported device. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to answer Beach's question. Beach says, who are you? All right. This is a fair question. My name's Mario Smith. I'm a poet, writer, and radio chat show host. I also MC a 50,000 person event known as the Silver Room Block Party every year. We haven't done it in 2 years. We're going to do it again this year. I have 4 different shows that I do. This one, podcast called Randomly Selected that you can get wherever you get your podcast. Another podcast called Who You Got that you can get on Podbean. And the Thursday show, News from the Service Entrance, which is over 20 years old. It's actually 21 years old this year. I'm going to be on an episode of The Shy, episode 504. We start filming next week. I'll be filming it before I come sit in the chair and do this. Been on Backchannel for a couple of months now. Kind of been involved for longer than that. I'm published. I'm in a book called The Breakbeat Poets. It's published by Haymarket Press. And that's kind of it. You can follow me on Twitter at Mario in Hyde Park. There you go, Beach. That's who I am. And I've been doing radio since 1987. I hope that answered your questions. He said he's going to get an electric Mustang. I appreciate that. Thank you, Beach. Yeah, man. And electric Mustangs look nice. And I imagine they go fast. Why wouldn't they? You know? So yeah, if you can also Google me, man. I'm around. This old man has been on it for a minute. I'm trying to figure out why Phil Mickelson said what he said. But he really screwed up when he said what he said. Phil Mickelson tweeted an apology yesterday in which he said he was sorry for recent comments he made about the PGA Tour and organizers of a Saudi-financed breakaway league. Quote, although it doesn't look this way now, given my recent comments, my actions throughout this process have always been with the best interest of golf, my peers, sponsors, and fans, Mickelson wrote. There's the problem of off-the-record comments being shared out of context and without my consent, but the bigger issue is that I used words that do not reflect my true feelings or intentions. It was reckless. I offended people, and I am deeply sorry for my choice of words. I'm beyond disappointed, and I will make every effort to self-reflect and learn from this. Mickelson, who's 51, caused an uproar last week when author Alan Shipnuck released an excerpt from his upcoming unauthorized biography of the 6-time major champion. In the excerpt, published on the Fire Pit Collective website, Mickelson described the Saudis as, quote, scary, but said he was looking past their controversial history of human rights violations to gain leverage with the PGA Tour. Mickelson indicated he would be taking time away from the tour. He has skipped the past 4 events. Here's Mickelson. The past 10 years, I have felt the pressure and stress slowly affecting me at a deeper level, he wrote. I know I have not been my best and desperately need some time away to prioritize the ones I love most and to work on being the man I want to be. On the Fire Pit Collective podcast, Shipnuck said Mickelson reached out to him to discuss the PGA Tour and other issues in November. He said Mickelson never said their discussion was off the record or for background purposes only and knew it would be used in his book. The Super Golf League is being financed by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund and fronted by Greg Norman. It was attempting to poach many of the PGA Tour's best players, but many have pledged their intention to stick with the tour. Quote, my experience with LIV Golf Investments has been very positive, Mickelson wrote. I apologize for anything he's doing a lot of apologizing. I apologize for anything I said that was taken out of context. The specific people I have worked with are visionaries and have only been supportive. More importantly, they love golf and share my drive to make the game better. Mickelson has been leading the charge for the proposed Splinter League, which intended to start play this summer, including 10 tournaments in the U.S. Golf desperately needs change, and real change is always preceded by disruption, Mickelson wrote. I have always known that criticism would come with exploring anything new. I still chose to put myself at the forefront of this to inspire change, taking the hits publicly to do work behind the scenes. Mickelson, who became the oldest major champion in history when he won the 2021 PGA Championship at age 50, has been heavily criticized by PGA Tour players, including Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas. I don't want to kick someone while he's down, obviously, but I thought Mickelson's comments were naive, selfish, egotistical, ignorant, McIlroy said. A lot of words to describe that interaction he had with Shipnuck. It was just very surprising and disappointing. Sad. I'm sure he's sitting at home sort of rethinking his position and where he goes from here. Nicholson said he has given his sponsors, which include Callaway, the opportunity to pause their relationship with him. KPMG became the first to announce an end to its partnership with Mickelson, a decision the company said was mutual. We wish him the best, KPMG said in an email to the Associated Press. Amstel Light also ended its sponsorship relationship with Mickelson. I have made a lot of mistakes in life, and many have been shared with the public, Mickelson wrote. My intent was never to hurt anyone, and I'm sorry to the people I have negatively impacted. This has always been about supporting the players, and I appreciate all the people who have given me the benefit of doubt. It wasn't a mutual agreement, I bet, with KPMG. I'm pretty sure KPMG said, man, are you crazy? That Saudi money is real money. Get out. You're fired. And Amstel Light? I didn't even know they still made Amstel Light. Yeah, they told him to scram too. Incredible. There is sad news in the baseball world. If you are a fan of a certain age, you remember the day that Julio Cruz crossed the plate for the Chicago White Sox in 1983 when they won the American League Central at the time division. Juice Cruz died today at the age of 67. Yesterday at the age of 67. The former Mariners and White Sox player had been battling prostate cancer. The two teams announced Wednesday Mr. Cruz's death. Cruz had been a broadcaster for the Mariners' Spanish language telecasts since 2003. Is survived by, among other family members, his wife and 3 sons. Oh, man. Cruz spent the 1977-83 season with the Mariners and was traded to the Chicago White Sox during the 1983 season, in which he appeared in his only playoff action. The Sox, don't remind me, lost to the Orioles 3-1 in the American League Championship Series. For fans, Julio was such an important part of the White Sox, and in particular the 1983 team, said 1983 White Sox manager and current White Sox manager Tony La Russa. We traded for him to ignite the offense, which he did, and then he obviously scored the winning run when we clinched the AL West, that season. He had an electric ability as a player, but was such a big part of those teams because of his personality. He was a caring guy, and because of that, had an emotional connection with his teammates on and off the field. Most of us had kept in pretty regular contact with him over the years, but this is a very sad day. He was much too young to leave us, and he will be missed. That 1983 year, man, was a very special time in my life. I was a junior in high school, sophomore, junior, something like that. The White Sox were everything. That was the winning ugly team. And Julio Cruz was a bad man. So there's a story that Ron Kittle tells that, if you're a fan of baseball, they do a pregame show. And then at the end, they go, for being on the show, we're going to give you a gift certificate for dinner at whatever. And so Julio Cruz was on one of those pregame shows and got the gift certificate and took Ron Kittle, who also played for the White Sox, and a bunch of other players out to dinner. It was the wrong restaurant. So Ron Kittle had to front the bill. And it's every year, Julio Cruz would give, up until he died, would give Ron Kittle a wallet with $100 in it because he felt so bad about taking his boys to the wrong restaurant. By all accounts, he was an amazing dude, super nice guy. And as a White Sox fan, I'm sad today. That was one of my favorite players in 1983. Did a lot for that team, man. A lot. Julio Cruz, dead today at the age of 67. Do you have baseball cards or basketball cards in your collection? You may want to pull them out. A Kobe Bryant card is the latest card to break the $2 million threshold for sale. Card that's worth $2 million. I'm telling you, check your situation. A Kobe Bryant card was sold privately last week for $2 million. PWCC Marketplace announced yesterday the highest a Bryant card has ever brought. The sale is notable in that the card, a 1997-98 Metal Universe Precious Metal Gems Emerald, is not a rookie card, nor does it boast an autograph or game-used memorabilia swatch. The Bryant card becomes the latest in basketball to break the $2 million threshold. The joining multiple LeBron James RPAs, rookie patch autograph, and a Luka Doncic logo man auto, and a Michael Jordan All-Star Game used jersey auto card. James holds the record with his 2003-2004 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection RPA apparel. No, here we go again. Selling for $5.2 million in April 2021. Though the Bryant card is 4 of 100, only cards 1 through 10 are of the emerald-hued variety in this set. $2 million for a Kobe Bryant basketball card. He's got on the number 8 in this 1997-98 card. Courtney, Valerie, Sharon, Susan. Hey. Welcome all of you. Fans of football remember Deshaun Watson. He played for a while and then stopped playing because apparently he was very handsy with people too. There's been a new ruling in one of these civil cases against Deshaun Watson, and on Monday, a Harris County judge ruled that Houston, Texas quarterback Deshaun Watson can be deposed in 9 of the 22 civil cases filed against him with allegations of sexual assault and inappropriate behavior during massage sessions. The 9 women about whom Watson can be questioned under oath have not filed a criminal complaint against Watson and have all given their depositions in the cases. Lovey Smith said something interesting too. The Monday hearing was held after Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, filed a motion to delay Watson's deposition until after April 1st. Hardin argued in the hearing that by delaying Watson's deposition, which originally was allowed to take place this week, it would allow Watson's legal team to take depositions for all 22 of the women who have filed civil lawsuits. Perhaps most interestingly, he also said that he believes the Harris County District Attorney will likely decide by April 1st whether Watson will be criminally charged. Watson's legal situation, of course, is being watched closely by teams around the NFL that are interested in trading for the 26-year-old quarterback. More than a year ago, Watson requested a trade from the Texans because he didn't like the direction of the franchise after the McNair family hired general manager Nick Cassero. As a result, Watson did not play a down for the Texans last season, even though he was on the active roster. While there was conversation with the Miami Dolphins before the trade deadline in November, ultimately the 22 lawsuits, civil lawsuits that is, stood in the way of a trade taking place. The Texans could agree to a trade for Watson at any point, but it cannot make one official until the start of the new league year at 4 p.m. Eastern on March 16th. Unless Watson and the 22 plaintiffs settle the civil lawsuits, a pretrial conference is scheduled for early May, according to court documents. If the criminal investigation is included by April 1st, it would provide more clarity for teams interested in trading for the quarterback. You know what's messy is that there are 22 women who feel like they were violated by him, and there's still a question about whether he's going to be charged criminally or not. There's also a question about whether these things are accurate or not. So out of the 22 of these civil complaints, if you will, 9 of them have been deemed worthy of being further investigated. That's a thing. Deshaun Watson might be in a little bit of trouble. And if you're an NFL team out there looking for a quarterback, especially one of that caliber, that's a good guy to have on your team. But it's going to be really hard to justify hiring Deshaun Watson if there are these questions hanging over his head. This is a big moment for him. This is far larger than football. Even though these are civil suits, if any of them becomes a criminal case, it's a wrap for my man. I think. I don't know how you come back from that. How do you do that? I'm sorry. I got a hard time with that. How do you present yourself to an NFL team and say, yeah, I know that I've got 9 allegations of some real odd behavior toward my massage therapist. But my question has been, it took 22 people to get somebody to notice that Deshaun Watson might be handsy with them. We don't know the whole story, man. This is an interesting one. But again, if he doesn't figure it out, it could be a wrap for my man. His NFL career could be over. before it even really gets going. And he's a really good quarterback. Not that that means you can't be a creep too, because you can. You can successfully do both. We'll keep an eye on it. Before I read it, yes, I like soccer. I meant to mention that to Beach. I'm a big fan of soccer. Uh, Premier League is my joint. I'm a big fan of PSG, and I really like the MLS. And I'm starting to like it more and more as they get closer and closer to becoming a real serious player in the American sports landscape. Because I think, depending on where you live, hockey might not be your thing. You know, just might not. MLS Commissioner Don Garber said that he has full faith in the leadership of the Portland Timbers Glisten squad, even as the club is the subject of 3 ongoing investigations for its handling of allegations of abuse. Speaking to reporters yesterday, ahead of the new MLS season beginning on Saturday, Garber said club CEO Merritt Paulson and his father, majority owner Hank Paulson, were cooperating with a league-run investigation into how the club handled allegations of domestic abuse levied against midfielder Andy Polo. The Paulsons also own the Thorns, a National Women's Soccer League team that continues to deal with allegations of sexual misconduct from a former coach. Quote, I have great faith in the Paulson family, close quote, Garber said. Hank Paulson could be the most involved MLS board member, and I have enormous faith and confidence in Merritt Paulson, who's built from scratch one of the great sports teams in any sport in our country, if not throughout North America. I know that he's very passionate about his teams, both the Portland Timbers and the Portland Thorns, and is going to cooperate in anything that is being reviewed. Earlier this month, the Timbers and MLS suspended Polo after his ex-partner, Genesis Alacron, publicly accused him of domestic abuse, telling a TV show in Peru, he pulled my hair, I fell to the floor, he slapped me in the face and gave me a black eye. 2 days later, Polo's contract was terminated. The Timbers, however, had been aware of a call made to police on May 23rd, 2021, alleging domestic violence against Alacron at Polo's home outside of Portland. 2 Timbers employees, Gabriel Jimenez and the team's head of player affairs, and Jim McCausland, the team's head of security, arrived on scene and spoke to police, with McCausland promising officers that he would make sure that peace would be maintained inside the house, according to the police report. The Timbers reportedly did not inform MLS about that incident in May and subsequently opted to renew Polo's contract in December 2021. Last week, MLS announced it had launched an investigation into the Timbers' handling of the incident and whether the Timbers should have reported it to the league. The Polo ordeal comes on the heels of another abuse scandal within the same club on the women's side with the Portland Thorns. Oh my God. That is rough. What are they doing? What is going on in Portland? That's amazing. And that's our look at sports. David says, David's first time on the stream. Hey, Donnie is back with us again. How you doing, my friend? Sylvia's in New York. David's in Pennsylvania. Donnie's in Florida. Barry has joined the stream as well. Thank you all so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. Again, programming note, won't be around tomorrow. We'll be back on Friday. So if you're looking for us tomorrow, we will be not here, because that would be something if I showed up. Not that I wouldn't, I'm just saying. I'm not going to be around tomorrow. Jay Gliss will be back on Friday. He has not answered my text after he called me on the phone. He called me again? No, he just called me that one time. But I suspect that he will be back on Friday, and we get a chance to have a little fun at my man's expense, even though he is having free time right now with his knee and all. He got surgery this morning on his knee. And I'll be glad that he'll be back. That'll be fun. Be nice to talk to my man, Mr. Gliss. Let's see here. I know I missed some stuff yesterday that I do want to read for you. And I'm going to do that now. Did you know 65% of people surveyed say that they pay the full sticker price at a car dealership, even though they don't have to. Okay, now this is interesting. An Australian man, Alan, you're in Australia, stacks 6 M&Ms and earns a world record. Several Guinness World Record breaker, a serial Mario can't read, a serial Guinness World Record breaker from Australia recaptured his former record by arranging 6 M&Ms into a vertical stack. Brendan Kelby, 22, previously stacked 4 M&Ms in 2020, equaling the record originally set by an Italian man and making him the joint holder of the title. The record was broken in June 2021 when a British man created a stack of 5 M&Ms, and a different man from Italy became a joint holder. I'm sorry, where are we? Of the record when he equaled the total the following month. Kelby has now recaptured the title by stacking 6 M&Ms into a tower that stood for at least 10 seconds at his home in Queensland. The Australian's other records include most drumstick flips in a minute, 98, longest duration spinning a basketball on a pair of spectacles, wow, 29.67 seconds. That really fascinated me. Tallest tower of dice stacked on the back of the hand in 30 seconds while blindfolded, 13. Most dice stacked into a tower in 30 seconds while blindfolded, 20. And longest duration spinning a basketball on the nose, 9.57 seconds. You know what the number one book stolen in libraries in the United States is? Actually, around the world? It's the Guinness Book of World Records. How about that? You guys know about Bat Falcon? We'll talk about Bat Falcon when we come back. That's what we'll do. David hit me with a yes again, my man. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you to everybody watching the drive. That's play ball and some useless facts that you can tell people. That Guinness Book of World Records thing, that's the most stolen book in the library. And that reminds me, man, I need to get a good copy of the Guinness Book of World Records. It's been a while. I'd like to have that in my possession again, you know? It's a cool book to have. We come back, we're going to leave you with a story that'll take you up to your dinner table and maybe even to your water cooler tomorrow morning. It's going to be a feel-good something, and we're going to do that in just a moment. You're watching The Drive on Backchannel.tv. I'm Mario Smith. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to The Drive. As we get ready to take you home, we are glad that, I'm sorry, I was just having my palm. Glad that you were here with us today. Glad that you decided you wanted to spend some of your afternoon with me. I really appreciate it. My man Jake List will be back on Friday. Here's a story about a kangaroo. If you're in Denmark and you're watching the show, hey Denmark, need to get your guy. Police in southeastern Denmark on Monday appealed for public help to track down what appeared to be a kangaroo that was filmed hopping across a field. Police said on Facebook that a driver saw the marsupial hopping around near Ooster Uslev, a village 16 kilometers, 10 miles, from the port city of Rodbyhavn. I don't know how to do it. Don't be mad at me. Is this part of the appeal of this show that it's words like this that I can't pronounce and makes you guys laugh? I'll do it again. Where ferries connect to northern Germany. I can't go to Denmark now. Man, I ruined it for all Denmarkians. They said the driver, whom they didn't identify, had the presence of mind to film the animal, although they acknowledged the 3-second video they posted was short and grainy. Nobody has reported a kangaroo missing. The South Zealand and Lowland Foster Police requested any sightings or information on the animal's whereabouts to be reported using non-emergency number 114. The animal is not considered to be dangerous. Despite the fact that kangaroos are not common in Northern Europe, it is the second time the police district has reached out for help in finding one. In 2014, a kangaroo escaped from a private animal farm in the same area. And in July 2018, a kangaroo was on the run elsewhere in Denmark for half a day before its owner found it. What is going on in Denmark with the kangaroo? Where are they going? Why are they trying to run away? And they didn't catch the big bear yet that we talked about either. Now, here's another one. This is interesting too. A Michigan woman turning 100 has added another tattoo. Any tattoo folks out there? A Michigan woman soon will celebrate a milestone birthday. How old? Look at her decorative upper arm. Gloria Weberg has NY 1922 tattooed on her left arm, the year and place of her birth. Weberg is turning 100 March 2nd. Not a typical age to visit a tattoo artist, but that's what she has done every 10 years since turning 80. Her birth year in New York is under a goddess representing Mother Earth, added at age 80, and among 7 stars representing her children, which she added at age 90. Weberg and her late husband raised their family in the Chicago area. But of course, she got a college degree at age 55 from Chicago State University and worked as a social worker. They moved to St. Joseph 30 years ago. She says, my secret is being active of her longevity, she said that. To be aware of what's going on in the world in every way, for what my children were doing, their education, how important that was to me. She performs aerobics while watching TV news and regularly enjoys a glass of red wine. See? A tattoo at 110? Probably something like, are you still here? Or I'm still here, she said. Happy birthday to her. I don't know about getting a tattoo when I'm 100. That's a bit of a stretch. It could happen. I've got tattoos. No, I'm not telling you. Just in case you guys didn't hear about this, Coca-Cola is releasing a space-inspired drink. Here's what it tastes like. Coca-Cola is trying to step out of its comfort zone, sort of, to provide customers with magical flavors. That's the name of my new band, by the way, Magical Flavors. As part of its new Coca-Cola Creations line, its first venture, a space-inspired drink, Starlight, soon available in both original and zero sugar options, has the well-known appearance of Coca-Cola, but when held up to the light, it appears almost red or purple, like the colors in a Hubble space photo of gas left behind by a supernova. In addition to the color change, Coca-Cola says you will taste a hint of s'mores and feel a unique cooling sensation in your throat. Starlight will be available for about 6 months, according to Coca-Cola. New flavors are expected to be released under the Creations line, but the company wouldn't say which flavors are next or when they will be available. That sounds like yucky. I don't know if I want that. Hey, Taylor, how you doing in Virginia Beach? Thank you for being on the drive with us today. And to Sylvia in New York and David in Pennsylvania and everybody else, thank you, man. That kind of does it for the show. Sort of. I can get ready to release myself from my house and head on outside. I'm going to have to ask a question. Nah, never mind. I'll just wing it for a minute. Again, truly appreciate you guys being on the drive with me. You can come back and join us starting at 6 a.m. Eastern for Allison and Haley. They're in the UK and they're adorable. And it's really early. So if you're up that early, you might as well turn on Backchannel. Leave it on all day and enjoy the programming that we have for you as we are growing together. And that's the cool part about you being here. We're growing together. And when this really becomes what I'm envisioning it becoming, you could say you were here at the beginning when I was trying to pronounce and failing miserably. Maybe I'll have a new eyeglass color on Friday. I have several. Um, and again, we talked about the winter storm that's coming to a neighborhood near you. Please be careful. Check on the people who need to be checked on, and be mindful. These storms are deadly. They're talking about thunder ice and almost an inch of ice. Just went through that in Chicago about a month ago. Um, that's quite a thing. When the ice when the earth is speaking. So if it's thunder, ice, and all kinds of other crazy, watch yourself and be very careful. We will be back on Friday. Jay Gliss will be hopefully roundhouse kicking and dunking people. I want to thank my friend Rob. Thank you for doing this for me today. Really appreciate it. I was not sure how this was going to go, but it wasn't the worst thing. It wasn't the worst. And thanks again for your insight and your advice and all that cool stuff. I really appreciate it. I did not get a chance to thank the people who do the Chicago Game Show that I was on 2 nights ago. My man Justin Kaufman, or maybe I did, Justin Kaufman and my buddy Goldie. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I came in third place. There were 3 contestants. No, I came in second. I lost to the great Jean Sparrow, who I don't mind losing to, if you get my drift. She's beautiful and she's a radio icon. So it was fun losing to such a cool person. And I'm going to wrap it up. That's it for the drive for today, February 23rd, 2022. We thank you so much for checking us out. Please join Backchannel.tv beginning at 6 a.m. Eastern time for Allison and Haley. On behalf of everyone at Backchannel TV, and I found out today that's a lot of people. On behalf of everyone at Backchannel.tv, I'm Mario Smith. As the sun sets in Chicago, Illinois, we wish you a wonderful evening. Please be safe, and we will see you on Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.